I don't want to be your salad. I don't want you to try one of my episodes or two of my episodes or three of my episodes and then turn to me and say, he said I could be better. I suck. I'm not better. Failure is a lesson in limitations. Hello and salams. My name is Clam and welcome to another edition of the Chaplain Bar. Today we are going to discuss motivation and change. I've been receiving messages, really great messages about people telling me how what I'm saying and doing here has motivated them to want to make changes in their lives, to themselves and whatnot. And first and foremost, it's very humbling. Thank you so much for those messages. It makes me want to keep doing what I'm doing, so thank you. A lot of you have said that Chaplain Bar is encouraging you and motivating you to want to be better and do better.
Yeah, well, Scooby-Doo can do-do.
Well, I gotta stamp that shit out right now. It's not that I don't want you to be better and do better. It's that I don't want you to blame this endeavor or blame me or what I've said when you inevitably fail. And I'm saying that out of love. And I'm not saying that you're going to fail because you're failures. On the contrary, I'm saying you're going to fail because, like myself, you might not know how to utilize that motivation. But not only that, you might be very good at it, but failure is a natural part of progress, and that's not something that we're not taught often enough. So even if you are failing, that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. I'm not saying this as a negative thing. Failure is completely natural, and it should be expected and it should be embraced.
Kids, you tried your best, and you failed miserably. The lesson is, never try.
But the reason I say this is because I also want to make sure that the motivation isn't stifled, that your belief in yourself and your ability to do better, to be better, isn't stifled by that failure. So this is an important issue because I want to make sure that we understand how we process failure and how we process the motivation for change. For example, back when I was in my undergrad, I went to Revival of the Islamic Spirit conference, and by the end of it, I was motivated, and it was the holidays, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to change, I'm going to be different, I'm going to be better, and started to pray, and I started to, yeah, that's really all I did. I started to pray, and I started to, be motivated and stuff, and once school started, after the conference, things were pretty quick to go back to normal. I got right back into my old habits, into my old routine, and I felt like, well, I kind of screwed that up, or I can't change. How many times have we tried in our lives to implement change? Be it Ramadan, be it after a big conference, be it a birthdays or New Year's or Islamic New Year's or whatever. We decide, or even just a pact with friends, like, we're gonna go to the gym, promise, yeah, let's do this. And 2-3 weeks later, back to square one. Even maybe after a month, maybe after, a little bit longer, something just happens and you end up going back to those old habits. Failure is a lesson in limitations, and acknowledging that is a form of self-acceptance. I want abs. There's a reason that you're seeing just this much of me. I don't have abs. I want abs, but I don't have them.
I'm dead sexy. Look at my sexy body.
So, once upon a time, I decided I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna work out. I lasted a few weeks. back to square one. Wanted abs again, started running. Thought, okay, I'll burn some calories, I'll run running. That lasted 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, that ended. Thought, okay, running is not my thing. Try bike riding. Tried bike riding. Lasted about 3 or 4 weeks. Back to square one. Thought, okay, this exercise thing isn't for me. Maybe I'll try salads.
You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad.
You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad.
You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad.
So I tried salad, and one salad later I didn't have abs, and I thought, what the hell, salad? You lied to me.
Liar, liar, pants on fire, hanging from a telephone wire, squirming, squirming, pants are burning. When I lie, my hips start turning.
And what happened to me was that I got sucked into this failure whirlpool. So we are in this whirlpool of a habit, or of inactivity. And we're at the center of this whirlpool, or this downward spiral, or whatever you want to call it. And as we're in the center of it, we're staying still. You know, I wasn't very spiritually active, and I'm in this whirlpool, and all of a sudden I go to RIS and I get motivated, and I think, that's it. Now I have changed. Or now this is the big difference. I thought I had changed, but all I really did was accept that I want to change, or that I want to be better. And when I was in that whirlpool, when I was in that downward spiral, and this, you know, this can even be applied to depression or something. When you're in that downward spiral, when you're in the center of it and you're staying still because you have no energy to do something, sometimes you're injected with that motivation and you decide, okay, I'm getting out now. And you try to swim or you try to get out, but because we don't have the endurance and the stamina to keep going, we eventually get sucked back in. And what we wrongly start believing about ourselves is that we are unable or incapable of getting out. And if babies understood failure the way we did, then the first time they tried walking and they fell on their ass, they would just say, you know what, I suck at this, I'm never going to bother trying again. And it just made me realize we need to have that level of compassion with others when they're learning something new. Imagine if your parents had as much compassion with you when you were trying to find a job or succeed in school as they did when you were walking. You know, it's not like a baby fails at something and be like, can't you do anything right?
Wah! Wah! You like that? Huh? You like that? Wah! You just tune this out, don't you? Wah! Well, tune this out. Wah! Ah! Ah! Shut up!
You know, we don't do that. That's just Looney Tunes. So this brings me to the importance of baby steps. And that's exactly why they're called baby steps, because that's how babies learn to walk. It's the perfect metaphorical phrase. Baby steps with integrity also means that we actually try something that is challenging to us. You know, we should acknowledge that maybe we aren't going to be able to pray 5 times a day, you know, consistently right off the bat. Maybe that's going to be a bit of a challenge. But to say, I'm only going to try to pray once a day at all, maybe that's a bit too limiting. And that's just an example. Maybe once a day is a good start. But for some of us, maybe saying, you know what, I should be able to get 2 in. That's realistic. But aiming for 1 and knowing you can do 2 or 3, that's limiting yourself. You're not going to develop much from that. You have to take realistic challenges. Bro, you're not going to make gains. And this is the importance of self-acceptance. Knowing where we are is the first step to knowing where we're going. And you know what? That's not easy. It's not easy to look at yourself honestly and think, yeah, I actually suck this much. Or, yeah, I'm actually capable of so much more. Learning who we are, learning what we're capable of, learning what we're incapable of, learning how to respond to failure, and learning where we want to go are some important values in taking those baby steps towards wherever it is you're going. If I'm getting credit for your failures, then I'm getting credit for your success. And I'm not taking either. You're the one who's going to fail, and you're the one who's going to succeed. And I believe that when we take responsibility for our failures, we learn to take responsibility for our success. And when we take responsibility for our success, oh my God, it's so tasty and yummy, like food we shouldn't be eating. It's so... When we learn to take responsibility for our success, it's easy to develop into a habit. And it's a good habit to have, and it's an exciting habit to have, and it's an addictive habit to have. And it also mitigates the way we experience failure as well, because failure stops becoming failure when you want that success. You can do it! And finally, you can't get abs in one salad.
Okay, I haven't had a carb since 2004. Check these out. See these? See these, boys? This is what I live with every day. I lather this up with Kiehl's in the shower. You want to touch this shit? Sorry, not gonna happen.
Damn. That's all for me for this week. Peace out, salams, and keep raising that bar.
Liar, liar, pants on fire, hanging from a telephone wire. Squirming, squirming, pants are burning. When I lie, my hips start turning. Squime, squime, squime. Squime, squime, squime. Liar, liar, pants on fire, hanging from a telephone wire. Squirming, squirming, pants are burning. When I lie, my hips start turning. Liar, liar, pants on fire, hanging.